Hello everyone, this is Blake Dennis. For my lecture application 3 assignment, I chose to go to a Buddhist temple prayer service. And the reason why I chose this assignment is because I've been to a lot of Buddhist temples as like a sightseer or like a tourist, because I have some Filipino relatives that are actually Buddhist, but I've never actually attended a prayer service. So I thought it'd be a cool experience to go and kind of check out what they're all about and to learn more about it. When I first got to the temple, I got there a couple minutes before the prayer service started, and it was pretty quiet. I mean, there was no one really talking. There was about 10 people there for the prayer service, not including the monks. So you walk into this big room, and you have to take your shoes off before you go in. It's real quiet, and they're lighting incense in the front of the room. And there's like a big statue of Buddha, and on the walls in the room there's murals of Buddha's previous 10 lives, because I guess Buddha was not Buddha from the start. He actually lived 10 lives, and each life he was supposed to complete a task, and once he completed all 10 tasks, then he was able to become Buddha. And when the prayer service started, the monks came in. They looked just like Buddhist monks, or how I thought Buddhist monks would look. They had bald heads, they wore robes, and nothing really under it, and that was about it. They didn't have any shoes, they had just sandals, I guess. And they came into the prayer service, and the people at the service started to chant something, and I don't really know what it was, but I tried to join in as much as possible. But the monks would come in, and they would chant something in front of like the procession, I guess. And then they sat off to the side on like a raised platform, because I guess they're supposed to be higher up than everyone else, I guess. So then we all sat down, and we started to go through these prayers and chants and kind of thing, and then some kind of like meditation positions, like different sitting styles and ways to move your arm. It was pretty cool. But I guess it's supposed to relieve like stress and like spiritual, trying to get your spirit in order kind of way. They tried to describe it, but I couldn't understand everything that they were saying. Well, most of the chanting was in like Sanskrit, I guess it was, or Thai, because they were Thai monks. But it was a pretty cool experience. But when I first decided to go there, I was kind of worried that I wasn't going to be able to understand anything, and I thought it was going to be like the movies, where like the Buddhist monks are like very peaceful and they don't say anything. But I talked to a couple of the monks afterwards, and they were actually pretty personable. Like their English wasn't the best, but they answered all the questions that I asked. They were really okay, cool with me taking pictures of videos of the temple, except for during the prayer service itself, because that would be rude, I guess, or that's considered rude in their their practices. Yeah, so I did a tour of the temple site, and they answered a lot of questions, and it was pretty cool to see their kind of culture. And from what I understand, for what I believe, is I see Buddhism as more of a lifestyle than a religion, because they have their practices and their ways to live by, like don't steal, don't kill, don't be a bad person, things like that. But they don't really have any like spiritual guidelines like Christianity does, like premarital sex and things like that. It's just pretty interesting, and they're really big on learning too. There was a building that was like a library, and they have books on all kinds of stuff, like human anatomy, flight. There was one on propulsion and stuff like that. It was pretty crazy. I did not expect a Buddhist library to have books like that. But when I talked to the monk, he said that they promote learning of all kinds, and I guess it's a way to keep your spirit and your mind like working as best as it can, and to like prosper and things like that. So it's pretty cool. From this experience, I feel like I learned a lot. I knew a little bit about Buddhist culture, but not really in depth. So So it was cool to go to the temple and actually participate in a service and talk to the monks, and I got to learn something about, you know, another culture that I probably never would have if I didn't try. So I'm glad that I did this experience, and thank you for listening.